So fun! Hey Donnie, learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Ah. Hey Donnie, come play. Oh, you're no fun. I'm going to use the restroom. Hey Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
There we go.
And is the microphone on? We're about to find out.
Please do. My voice needs to be heard.
Looks like we do have some audio input there. All right. That's what I'm assuming is the microphones. All right. So here we are,
Woo-woo.
ready to start our Friday night Pokemon here tonight.
Yes.
I'm Joshua Short. I'm joined with Adam Demopoulos here tonight.
Hi, guys.
We got 5 rounds of Pokemon tonight. It's going to be a great new meta game after seeing all the European Internationals decks that came out. Some really fun ones. Yeah, gonna look down there, see if they're getting ready. And here we go. Looks like they have started. All right, let's see. I know James likes to play some really janky stuff. Like stuff that
great. Homebrews are the best.
Man after my own heart. He plays some very crazy things. I'm not quite sure what Tomas is playing yet, but we're going to see what he's got in store. He's done pretty well in some League Cups recently, playing some Metagross, some metal decks. And it looks like he's sticking with those metal decks.
Nice.
Starting off with a Beldum. All
so
right.
now, what's the main strategy of a metal deck?
So for this one, I'm assuming I'll hold off from going into too much detail. He's most likely playing a Metagross, which is a very bulky, tanky thing, and you can use its ability, get energy from the discard pile, throw it onto your active, and hit hard very quickly, and just rotate out.
Okay, that's nice. So
we're gonna see. All right, he started off with his Ultra Ball. James starting off the game with his Alakazam, which is a very interesting choice.
yeah, I remember when I first started playing, Alakazam was like one of the first that I actually saw play with. Build a small deck with that. Him and Mewtwo. I mean, him and Mew. Yeah, Mew.
Oh.
Cool card. Alakazam.
So he's a fun one. That one you have, so when you play Mega Alakazam to evolve him, you can put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon and 3 damage counters on one of the benched Pokemon. So this deck is all about kind of spreading the damage everywhere.
And slowly taking out the opponent's Pokemon one by one.
Right.
Yes.
Or just kind of spreading it everywhere and just like hitting all those little tiny,
Yeah.
one by one, boop, boop, boop. And I can't really tell what that is. It looks like Necrozma?
The Jenga
Necrozma?
of Pokemon. Alakazam.
He is going through that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Seems like
He's got a really good
Doing-
setup ready to go.
yeah, he's got some quick momentum starting out on Dorsey's side of the field.
Oh, and he has to
He has to read it.
read it because that was back in Fates Collide, so that was even before the Sun and Moon set. So these are like the last legs of the Mega EXs and everything.
Okay.
So these are on their way out. On the next rotation, we won't have any more
So people are trying
EXs likely.
people still have to reread it and keep up with them.
Oh, yeah. Like, oh, I thought these were gone. Because this guy never really saw a huge meta presence.
Okay.
All right, so he's laid down the letter. He's going to get 2 energies. Probably going to use them to discard or attach, maybe discard one as an Ultra Ball fodder. so that when he gets the Metagross out, he can load it back on. Because looks like there is an Ultra Ball in there. Yep, there it is. Yep, he is definitely playing Metagross. All right. We can confirm.
Retyping.
We can statically claim that he is playing Metagross.
With an exclamation point.
He has done historically very well with this deck, so before the matches started, James he's like, oh, the world's not ready for this next level meta deck, this Alakazam, this Mega Alakazam EX. And I told him, well, you never know, like maybe you'll start off. He's like, I don't think I'll make it to the top tables. It's like, well, you never know, you might end up there for round 1. And lo and behold, he's showing off to the world his creation.
Yeah, it's really great with especially deck building in general when you have something that you really want to get out there and you want people to see it because it's something fun for you to play.
Oh yeah.
And and then when you finally get the chance to, well, let's say stream it live, that's a great thing. It's your creation.
Yeah, and you get to play it and you get to see it do well, maybe.
Yeah.
It's always a great feeling. I know.
Oh,
I know the feeling.
Yes.
Although it's always a very hateful feeling when you like play a deck you've created and you play it, and then somebody else does it on a stream
decks.
and claims to have had that deck before. I'm not bitter.
He's not bitter, people. He's not bitter at all.
All right, let's see.
We're looking at a quick start in this game.
Yeah, he's got a very good setup out there. He's got that Vulpix. So Vulpix, the Alolan Vulpix, it has a very nice attack. It costs nothing to attack, and you get to search your deck for, I believe it's any 2 Pokemon you want. And you just reveal them, put them into your hand, so that's a really good setup.
Search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it's a nice, what I like to call tutor cards, which allows you to go into the deck and search for, well, multiple things depending on what the card says.
Is that your own little term, or is that like a magic term?
That's
okay.
An actual, I think that's an actual term in most card games, most strategy card games. But it's really great because yes, I've been known to be more in the Magic world, but I have always had a love for Pokemon, all things Pokemon.
Oh, that he has.
Oh.
All right, looking at this, James. Oh, he's got the Spirit Link. So Spirit Link lets you, so whenever you evolve into a Mega, your turn ends. But if the Pokemon has a Spirit Link attached, your turn does not end.
Oh, really? Oh,
right. So it's a very good. At first, they didn't have that, and they were too slow for Megas to really make an impact. But then after like the second or third set, they started adding those into the sets, and they started to see a very big spike in playability.
So where was the Spirit Link played?
So right there. It's attached as a Pokemon tool card.
Okay.
Which you can attach. Some have different, some special abilities that let you attach more than one, but you can attach one tool card to a Pokemon and get its given effect.
Okay, so the Spirit Link allows you to keep your turn going?
Yes. So normally, if you would have played Mega Alakazam, any Megas end your turn whenever you evolve into them. But
so like
if you have that attached, it does not.
So you get to keep going after evolving.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you can end your turn by attacking, passing, whatever way you choose.
Continuation of turn. Like it.
Now, with dropping all the little energies everywhere, the Mega Alakazam has a really juicy attack. For only 2 energies, it does 10 base damage, but for every damage counter, so every 10 damage on the opponent's Pokemon, it does 30.
Oh, so
see that Beldum back there in the back?
Yeah.
It has 3 damage counters on it.
So now, that's going to be 90 damage?
Plus the base 10, so it'd do 100 damage if it already has 3. Which
Okay.
And
what is the base health of?
Oh, it looks like he's got Solgaleo out. Now, well, Metagross, the base for Metagross is 250, which is ridiculously strong.
All right, so now how is he playing all of those energy right there at the same time?
No. So, how it works, it's got an ability. an attack. It's called Soul Burst GX. So this is actually new. This about Sun and Moon. They introduced a new concept called the GX attack, which came in with the Pokemon GX. Fittingly,
makes sense.
And it's kind of like the Z moves in the Pokemon games now, where you can use it once per battle, and it's usually a pretty strong attack or a really strong effect. Solgaleos is Soul Burst GX, where you can search your deck for up to 5 energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you want. So what he did, he attached 2 of those extra ones to the Solgaleo, and it looks like 1 to Beldum. Is there one on that Tapu Lele? It looks like it. So now next turn, he can easily do Sunsteel Strike for 230, which
That's
is
a big hit.
Oh yes.
And currently, he can only attack what's up front, not on the
Correct,
bench.
yeah.
Okay. Again, reiterating to our fans, I am a fresh Pokemon player. Always have cared. But, you know.
Showing him the ropes. It's a good dynamic, especially for
great.
those of you that are trying to pick up the game.
Yeah,
Get to learn along with Adam tonight.
Yeah, it's great to have someone that, like, especially on a live stream, that you can
Relate to.
You can relate to, and you know, everyone who plays strategy card games, you always have a basic knowledge of, you know, the 7 cards and some kind of discard pile, and
Yeah, he's got the basics down. He knows
Yeah,
all
the
about
basics.
Professor Sycamore, Ultra Balls. He knows the basics. These new meta decks that are coming out, or these weird janky decks that James and myself like to play, are kind of out there for a loop. But you know, some of these, it's good because some people watching the stream, they're watching to learn.
They're so fun. Like, meta decks are very, very much fun to play because they're powerful. They win.
They're what's
and
in. They win a lot.
Yeah,
it's easy to
good response. You get a good response out of them. But the janky decks, those are just, that's the love of the deck maker, and that's the love of the being able to throw some spice in there that people don't usually get to see in these tournaments.
There we go.
All right, we have a
Forgot
current.
to reflect the timer on that.
Yeah, time remaining. It's not 48 minutes. It's 17.
Not 48 frozen with a couple seconds. Ugh.
See, here at Four Horsemen, time doesn't exist.
It's
we're in
a
another-
beautiful moment that
we're-
exists forever.
we're in a different dimension.
All right. Oh,
okay.
So-
what has just happened here?
he's
That's-
evolved. So he probably attached that psychic energy, and that Eevee has a special ability that allows it to evolve into the type evolution as the energy attached. So it gets to evolve into Espeon GX, which is a fun little card. It does, for a 1 energy, it can do Psybeam for 30, you're now confused, or Psychic for 3 energies, does 60 base, and it does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So for these big ones that have a lot of energy, it can do a lot for.
So the opponent's
Bang for the buck.
Pokemon that has
Yes.
the energy on it, he gets how much for each?
So
of
it
them?
does 60 damage base plus 30 for each energy on there.
Ooh, that is.
But he kind of used it just as a knockout. So that Soul Burst we were talking about, 230, you just pulled it up, knocked it out, all 200 of the HP gone.
That is a tough hit.
Yeah, and the fun thing about the Metagross deck, if he can get those Metagross out, which, I don't know, he's got to get the ball rolling, is you can attach using the Geotech system, I believe is the name of the ability, and it allows you to attach those energy to the active.
Okay. So Geotech. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Geotech stream says, once during your turn, before you attack, you may
Attach a Psychic
you
or
may
a Steel. Yeah.
Okay.
From your discard pile to your active Pokemon. So the ideal situation is to have 2 of those. Either one is active and you're attacking with it, or you have 2 of them on your bench. You load up 2 from the discard pile, and then you attach for a turn, and you have 3 in 1 turn. Easy damage right there.
Yeah, that sounds like some quick damage apply.
Yeah, especially
So
the main thing to do with the Metagross, just a pure Metagross deck, is to load it up with the 3, because after you use the Giga Hammer attack for 150, the Pokemon can't use that attack on the next turn. Seeing how that's its only non-GX attack, people like to retreat, bring up the other one, and then those energy that are in the discard pile from the retreat, you can just load back up.
Oh wow.
So it's a nice little back and forth swap. And there's a lot of max potions run in this deck that just heal everything at the expense of getting rid of the energy. But if you haven't used the ability yet, you load it back up. So there he uses the rare candy, jumps straight from Beldum up to Metagross. So he's got 1. So he's getting there, but
And the idea here is to like pile up on Metagross as much as possible.
yes, he most likely runs max potions though. So if he plays down a max potion, all that damage is gone. But from the look of the kind of running, that Solgaleo might get knocked out if he can bring it back up again.
So he's gonna have to try to knock out that soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, over to James. He couldn't really do anything. He used the Geotech system, loaded up an energy onto Metagross. He's just gonna try and take this hit. And I believe that Pokemon up there is Necrozma GX. Can't really tell. It looks like him. It prevents all damage done. Ability by just colorless Pokemon. He doesn't have any, so that's not really a big thing here. But it has an attack called Prismatic Burst, where 10 base discards all the psychic energy attached to it, and it does 60 more damage for each one you discard that way. And it needs 3 base for it, so that's an automatic 190. So
And
if he loads that up in the background, but what a lot of people like to do is load up a double colorless, like James has right there, and so that way he only has to discard the psychic. So with that double colorless on there, he can load up as many psychics as he needs before discarding it, so he can do it in intervals of 60. I don't know if it'll come to that, but like say, so it takes 3 energy to use Prismatic Burst.
Okay.
And so it does 10 base, but then if you discard, you have to discard all the psychic energy attached to it, and you discard 6, or you do 60 damage for each psychic energy discarded.
Okay, and how much does he have attached? Right?
So right now he has 3 energy attached. He has a double colorless and 1 psychic. So if he has enough to attack, but he only has to discard the psychic. He doesn't discard the double colorless. So he'd only be doing a bonus 60.
It seems like we've hit game.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, he came in for that. Well, looks like that doesn't even matter.
What a quick finish.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that hit him pretty hard. He had 2 Beldums prized, and a Metagross prized. 2 ins. That's
a lot of big things in.
And a Matang. That was not a good prize setup for Tomas.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at in being a rookie in this game, so you can either get pretty turned over by your prize cards.
Oh yes, I remember it was at regionals or a nationals. I believe it was a nationals or something, and it was a Decidueye deck, and I had actually played it myself. I'm gonna bring us back into the booth now. He had, so you can play up to 4 per usual, just like Magic of any Pokemon. Well, the basic form of Decidueye is Rowlet. He had 3 of his 4 Rowlets prized.
Ooh.
Which
I'm guessing is a main part of the deck.
Which is a huge part of the deck. It's about the only part of the deck at that time, other than some item lock if you played the Vileplume variant. But it was brutal because everybody in the audience could see. They had it so you could see his prize cards through the table, but they couldn't see it.
Okay.
So the audience could see it, and they were like, "Ooh," but it was. So prize cards are definitely.
Like, why is everyone booing me right now?
Well, they wear headphones so they can't hear audience reactions.
Wow.
When it gets up to that level, it's intense.
That's pretty intense, yeah.
But yeah, so prize cards can be a huge. They add some variance to just so it adds some variance to the playing, so it's not the same play every time.
And when you get to pick up a prize card, that's now in your hand, right?
Yeah, that goes into your hand.
So that could be very beneficial if you're ahead of the game.
It's very good.
So if you're ahead of the game and you're taking out more Pokemon, that you're getting more prize cards to.
Yeah, you're getting more prize cards, but then you also have to look out for things like that can you down to 1 card the more prize cards you take. But the way to win the game, you take all your prize cards. So you know,
give and take.
prize cards. I think they've got a good balance going on with it. But
yeah, sounds nice.
All right.
That was a great first game, as you guys can see.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I love to see fellow Jank Deck users win with that. I don't know. We might see him again. See how he fares up other matchups.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meta here. I don't know if anybody has anything quite as janky as James, but
the Janky James.
oh yes. So it might be fun to see how that goes. But we're gonna take a break real quick. We'll be back with round 2 and hopefully some more interesting matchups coming up.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you guys.
See ya.
Hey, Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun. Hey, Donnie, come play some X-Wing, man. Aw, you're no fun. Hey, Donnie, come learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Ah. Hey, Donnie, come play. Aw, you're no fun. I'm going to use the restroom. Hey, Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
All right, and welcome back. Good to see you guys again.
Back again.
Ready for round 2. We got 2 new players with us tonight. Or for round 2, we've got Drake Lemansky and Jonathan Morehouse, 2 both very good players. I don't know what they're playing, but I'm excited to see. So we're going to go ahead down to the game, see what they've got down there. And, all right, they're getting set up. Looks like they did have a bit of a delay. So, getting ready, setting out those nice damage counters for us. Yes, we're gonna
Make sure the
get them started. It's not -3 minutes on that clock. Thank you. All right, and as soon as they're ready to go, I can give them the go-ahead. Once Drake finishes shuffling, that'd be just swell.
May I say, what nice sleeves. That is a great color sleeves.
Oh, yes.
Like a baby blue eggshell, maybe, teal.
All right, so they are ready, and we're gonna get this show on the road. And there it goes. All right. All right, they're setting up. Now let's see what they've got. Good sportsman-like handshake. All right, so I don't know. Jonathan will probably be playing, it looks like steel in his hand, maybe something Solgaleo. He's got the Cosmog out there. And then I have no idea what Drake's playing because he unfortunately had to start with a Tapu Lele, which is not fun. You don't get to use that ability if you have to start with it. All right, so Jonathan's starting off. What's he got? He's got the Ultra Ball.
Are there mulligans in this hand?
Yes.
In this game?
Yes, there are mulligans. You have to have a basic Pokemon, and you can't choose not to. So clearly, like, starting with Tapu Lele GX is not the ideal start for a game. So unfortunately, that was his only basic Pokemon, so he had to play it. And that's how he had to start the game. But if you have no basic Pokemon, if you have a bunch of Stage 1s, Stage 2s, or just nothing in your hand that you can play, it's a mulligan. You show your hand to your opponent, you shuffle it again, and they get to draw 1 extra card, or get the option to draw an extra card up to the number of mulligans you have, and it's all or nothing. So they either take all the mulligan cards or no cards.
Okay.
So if you mulligan 47 times and they take all the cards, that was off the top of my head. I have no idea. Oh, yeah, that would be, 6 in the hand, 14. I'm good. Math's awesome. 47 mulligans in a row, which usually never happens in a competitive setting. Usually they do a scenario called Judge Ball, where after like 5 or 6 mulligans, the judge comes over, looks for the first basic Pokemon they can find in the deck, puts it in your hand, and gives you whatever 6 other cards, and you go with that.
Okay.
Just to keep the game going and the whole event running smoothly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would play these ridiculous decks with 1 basic Pokemon and 59 energy, aka Guzzlord, which was fun during pre-release season. It was interesting. But, alright. Yeah, he's definitely got a good setup going there with Bridget got him his basic Pokemon on the bench. I'm not quite sure what that one is all the way over to the right. But you know, you live and you learn. Alright, so let's see if Drake can get any help on the bench. He's gonna use another Tapu Lele. Maybe he's just playing a pure Tapu Lele deck. Who knows?
Well, it could be.
Now he's playing the Bridget. He's gonna set up. He's got Tapu Koko GX, or regular baby Tapu Koko. Looks like, what is that? Is that baby Eviltal? It's red.
Good catch.
Maybe? It looks like him, but the attacks don't look right. I wish we had like a zoom function. That'd be nifty. We'll find out. Actually, no. You know, I believe he's playing that Zoroark deck, which should be. There she is, right there.
Okay, so
yeah, he's definitely playing that.
Stampede for 10 and Ram for 20.
Yeah, but what he's setting up for is the real juicy piece of work. So it sets up, and I don't know if this is the one with 2 Galicipods in it or not, but how it works, you set up Zoroark GX. It's a wonderfully fun Pokemon. Once during your turn, you can discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So if you have a whole bunch of them, you can just go through your deck, get the things you need. And then it does, for 2 energy, it does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon, each of your Pokemon in play. So if you have a full bench and an active, it'll do 120, which is nice for 2 energy. And only being a Stage 1 GX, that's a pretty good way to set up.
Yeah.
Words are hard to, come to.
Alright, so seems like a pretty even setup right now. Now we're getting into everyone's getting settled into their active and benches. So we definitely are playing a Zord.
Oh yes.
So what do you see? What do you see the outcome of this deck? Which one do you think's the more like that has a better outcome?
I'm not sure. Well, I know very recently this deck that Drake's playing won the European Internationals.
Okay.
It won overall. Everyone's loving it, and yeah, so it's got great potential. However, I've never actually seen it played myself, so I've been,
so this is new for you too.
Yeah,
Mr.
seeing this. So this deck has a new things. Haven't seen too many things, but see, he's got a full bench ready to go. Knocks that out for 120, whatever the heck it was. And he takes his prize card. It seems really great, especially if you can get it set up early. He's just knocking things for 120. Like all these little Cosmogs, they have 60 HP. It's easy pickings for the Zoroark. And if he can get this up and raring to go, that would be great for Jonathan. But it looks like Zoroark's very fast.
Yeah, it seems
From
like
what I heard, it's very consistent.
Yeah, I see him having the momentum right here.
Oh yeah, because he's got to look through. He's got to get like rare candies. Got to get that heavy ball. He's going to search for the. I'm assuming it's Solgaleo or Solgaleo, however you want to pronounce that. Yeah, look, there it is.
I like Solgaleo. That sounds nice.
So he's got that.
Okay, so 250 HP with some interesting abilities.
Oh, sorry about that. There you go. He's got that Ultra Road. He's got the Soul Burst GX. I believe that's that one. Maybe.
So once per turn, you can switch out a benched with an active Pokemon. That's quite interesting. So he has the free ability once per turn to be switching Pokemon as much as he wants. That is quite interesting. Quite interesting.
All right. Let's see how he gets around this. Now he has a lot more HP on his side. So he's got. Oh, it looks like he did use Soul Burst, so he's going to get those up to 5 energy. Place them how he wants around the board. That's his attack for the turn. So Zoroark's going to be able to maybe get off that 120 damage, but Soul Burst Strike with damage of 230 is going to knock out that Zoroark and take the 2 prizes for Jonathan. That's why it's important that Jonathan got set up, got at least one of them set up quickly to take out those Zoroarks, because otherwise he was just going to keep knocking out those Cosmogs.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was going to last long if he keep having those out. But now it looks like he's starting to get some stability.
All right, let's see if Drake's got something to answer this in return. And the bad thing about Solgaleo having 250 damage, that's a 3-hit knockout, because Zoroark only goes up to 120, unless now, but I don't think he's running. I'm not seeing any out. Trickster GX, his GX attack is choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attack and use it as this attack. So he does have the potential, if he has 2 Dark Energies on a Zoroark, to use that Sunsteel Strike.
That's interesting. But you're worried that he might not have that kind of energy?
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I would assume I would assume that he has some darkness energy in there. I haven't seen any yet, but then again, I don't know what the main outcome of this, or the main playstyle of this deck, but I would assume so.
Speaking for all you Pokemon goers out there, I believe Pokemon Go has double XP.
Oh yeah, that
a
double
bunch of stuff.
XP.
Yeah, it was a really nice
going on.
world event.
All of them coming together. If they hit, I think, 3 billion,
Yeah.
they'll release Farfetch'd here in the United States.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. So everyone, get your phones out later.
Now, let's see. You lay down Drampa GX, which is a fun little basic GX. So and you can discard special energies for 1 energy. So it looks like he's going to retreat. Or no, he knocked that out. Excuse me. Eyes aren't what they used to be. But for 1 energy, you can do 20 damage and discard a special energy for a deck that runs double colorless. If you lose all those double colorless, you're going to be in a much less advantageous position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see what he chooses to do. He's going to use the Puzzle of Time. Look at the top 3, see what he's got to work with up there. Actually, if he could get a ban, I don't know if this deck plays the bans. Oh, it looks like he does run it with the Golisopod edition.
So, what trainer card did he just play?
He played Bridget. So that's the one,
Bridget.
which is, I guess he really wants to look for that. Interesting. He's gonna look for either 3 basics or an EX, or GXs count as,
1.
yeah,
Okay, so he can get 3 basics or 1 GX.
or 1 EX.
1 EX, okay.
GXs count as the anywhere in the 3 basics because this card came out before the advent of the GXs.
Okay.
So it's really nice for ones that run a lot of GXs. But all right, so he's going to get that Wimpod. I wonder if he runs the non-GX variant of Golisopod. If he gets that bonus hit, it does one. I think can do up to 150 of against GXs and EXs. Yeah, if your opponent's an active GX or an EX, it does 70 more damage for a total of 150. Okay, he's doing an interesting price trade here. So he uses little Tapu Koko, does 20 to everything. So he's got that 20 on there, and he'll probably knock that out with Solgaleo or use a Max Potion or something. I'm assuming that he would run a few.
So is there any way to knock all Pokemon out in bench and active?
It's possible, but I don't think it would ever happen. Like, you could load it up and like hit each Pokemon precisely so that you could do a sweep of 20 and knock out all the Pokemon. But with the meticulousness and the time that goes into that, by the time you set that up, either your opponent will have healed them up or already won the game, because that would take too much time really to do anything.
Yeah, okay, so it can't get established fast enough is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's within the realm of possibility, but yeah, there is that Max Potion, things like that happen, heal all that off. So that effort to that little extra damage with Tapu Koko was in vain with that. But if you could hit a few more, which will probably get knocked out on this next turn, spread a few more, you could theoretically with that just knock out a whole bunch of 60s if you got that attack off multiple times. So Sycamore, get a new hand. Let's see what he's going with. So yeah, he's not going to Guzma anything up, so he's just going to likely
Adding some energy.
stall because he doesn't have any energies on that because of the Max Potion. He's going to...
So you can't heal and add energy at the same time?
Well, the Max Potion, you can heal all that damage off of it, but at the cost of discarding all the energy attached.
Okay.
So that's kind of the turnaround with that. Yeah, so we knocked that out with Drampa's Berserk attack. Or maybe. Did it have damage counters on it? That's odd. That has more than 80. I didn't know that. Interesting. All right. Just going to use that, see that Ultra Road switch out very quickly. That's a nice ability to have in this situation.
Oh, yeah. Quick swap.
Oh, it's if your benched Pokemon have any damage counters on them. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that is that. I don't know if you've heard in the new... the Pokédex descriptions in the games are always interesting. In the newest Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Drampa actually has a interesting description in the Pokédex. It says if a child that is befriended is being bullied, it will find the bully's house and burn it to the ground. Like, it's a very interesting... So the fact that it goes berserk when its benched Pokemon, its friends, have damage counters on it, that's just very fitting that it's that kind of ridiculousness. Oh, and it looks like he did overcome that. Drampa was very nice. Zoroark couldn't compete with the bulkiness of the metal of that. That's the rough part about playing against steel type decks. It's definitely one of the more just bulky, kind of annoying to attack, and unless you can take it out in one kind of go or just hit it consistently for like 130, it's very difficult to take down.
Yeah, but it did seem for a while as the Zoroark deck had a nice start.
It had a very nice start.
It was killing off things pretty quickly. He got one of his first prize cards within like the first 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, it looked like it set up very quickly.
Yeah.
It was consistent. He was able to set that up, although he did have to start with the Tapu Lele, which did kind of hurt the initial setup.
Slow start, yeah.
And that takes away one of the Tapu Leles that he can use to search for the supporters he needs, which would have helped him down the road. I definitely like the deck. I like the idea. It definitely sets up card quickly.
Well, it's obviously a good deck when it wins an
entire
competition.
I enjoy steel type decks. I think they're very bulky. I haven't personally figured out a way to like consistently go against some fire types. Fire types are going to be huge because in this next set coming out, there's so much steel support. There's so many cards that are just either just very good metal type Pokemon or help them out in some way. So fire is going to see a big boost in playability when the steel comes out. Okay. They've kind of overcorrected. There's a Gardevoir GX that was just dominant in the meta. And so now they're like, oh, let's overcorrect. Let's add some weakness to it. Give steel. So now steel's going to be very prevalent. But then also fire's coming back, which I don't want to say coming back. It's here. It's here in a very prevalent way, but it's going to be much more viable. Yeah,
we'll find more use in it. Yeah,
but yeah, so
that was a great round. Very quick too.
Yeah, most of these games have been pretty quick. Yeah, even though they have 30 minutes, they're finishing them up in like.
Which is nice.
15s. Yeah.
So we're seeing one round per matchup. Is that how this?
Yeah. Tonight we're playing 5 rounds of best of ones in some tournaments. Here's some knocking. All right. I don't know what they're doing, but we're gonna go talk to them downstairs, and we'll be back with round 3 shortly.
Meet our dinosaur.
Stay tuned.
Hey Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun. Hey Donnie, come play some X-Wing, man. Aw, you're no fun. Hey Donnie, come learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Hey Donnie, come play. Aw, you're no fun. I'm gonna use the restroom. Hey, Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
All right, welcome back. Ready to start
Yes.
round 3. So we went down and talked to them. This is going to be kind of a repeat match. It's going to be Jonathan Morehouse again against our beloved Brian. He's also going to be playing the Zoroark Golisopod deck that Drake played. Let's see if he can get a little more luck against this metal deck.
And we're going against 2 decks right now that are both undefeated, I believe, in this tournament.
Oh, yes, they're both undefeated right now, 2-0. That'll change here shortly in
exactly.
the next 30 minutes.
2-man enter, 1-man leaves.
Now we're going to go see down there what we've got, if he's ready for us.
Again, brought to you
All
by
right.
Four Horsemen Comics.
Looks like we've got a mulligan, and they're ready to start for us, and he's got some...
Juju fruits.
Oh, well, that's... I guess offering him... maybe that's his GX token. That's going to be his GX token. All right.
Hey, man,
That's
you
what
want
I'm-
some Juju fruits before we start this shindig?
All right, let's start this shindig. All right, and they are ready to go. He's going to take his mulligan. And the show is on the road. All right, good start with a Zora. Going to Ultra Ball.
There we go. That's really quick. Getting him some card momentum really quick.
I believe if I had to wait, if I were a gambling man, I would say he's going to get the Bridget, then he's going to get the Tapu Lele GX, and then search for the Bridget, which I think he's cut out the middleman. I'm wondering, is he gonna... Did he not... Oh, Brian. I think he just, got into the groove, because the usual play is Ultra Ball for the Tapu Lele, lay the Tapu Lele, get the Bridget just while you're in the deck. He didn't get the Tapu Lele out. Unless that was from his hand, which I don't believe it was. Yeah, no, that was...
No, he pulled it out of his deck.
Yeah, because that was on the bottom. He forgot the Tapu Lele GX.
Is that allowed?
It's not, but...
Should we say
I don't think
something?
we're not the judges in this
we
scenario.
are not the judges in this scenario.
We're just here to
Therefore,
commentate.
We will watch the Jujus.
So, are those going to be his damage counters as well?
I don't know, but they look awfully tasty from this angle.
They do. Yeah, part of me, it's been kind of a hectic day today. He probably just went through the motions really quickly, forgot. He's not that kind of player. So, we're totally going to give him a lot of crap for it, though, when we go down there.
After the stream's over, we're going to be like, sir, you forgot your Tapu Lele.
Just so you know. I don't know if it'll come up in this scenario or not, but we'll see how this goes.
2 veteran players, one of them eventually noticed.
Or not.
Or not.
They're just in the zone, ready to go. It's like, okay. I went the longest time. There was a card called AZ or Az, or I think most people just called it AZ. His name was all caps. And you brought a Pokemon back to your hand, but you discarded all the cards attached to it. But for the longest time, I just played it, everything came back to your hand, because that's what I thought it did. And nobody in, regionals or locals, nobody really called me on it until, the card was about to be rotated.
He's pointing at the Jujus.
Ah. Is that supposed to be his Tapu Lele? I didn't know they had a...
Tapu Juju.
Tapu Juju. Juju Lele. One of the two. You decide. Leave your votes in the comments.
Sounds like a football player. Juju Lele.
Juju.
Juju Lele on Broncos
Smith,
defense.
Lele. Juju Smith Lele.
Juju Smith Lele.
All those are... No, he's changing his mind, but we're on the same wavelength. Although, no matter how hard I try and send him mental signals, he still does not realize that Tapu Lele is not out there. Alright, so Jonathan's trying to figure out what he's going to do. He did not have any Cosmogs, or... I don't think he runs... Does he run Beldums? Is this that kind of metal deck? I would assume so. Maybe? We'll find out. Does not have anything. He's got to get that Ultra Ball. He's going to look for... There's the Cosmog. He's got at least one. But if Brian's able to Guzma up that Cosmog, that's going to put him at that's going to put Jonathan at a real disadvantage.
If he does what?
So Brian has a Zoroark GX in hand, so he can
Yes.
evolve the front Zora. If he has a double colorless, he can easily knock it out with that first attack. But if he can get that Cosmog up to the active position, like if he has a Guzma and can bring that up, then he can easily knock that out with Riotous Speeding. Right? Yeah, Riotous. Yeah, that's how you pronounce that. So there's yep. All right, so he's got that. Oh, he's going to Enhanced Hammer off that double colorless. And he's going to use its ability, discard draw 2. With both of them. Oh, there's that Guzma. You want the Guzma, Brian. Go for it. Get that Cosmog. Oh, no. Do it. Ah. Oh, well. That's what I would have done, but, you know, I'm no Brian, so.
Yeah. Seems like he's a very patient player, which is nice.
He is a very patient player. He's
A lot of
played
people-
he's
lot of
played for a
people-
long time. He knows how to play the game.
Yeah, a lot of people like, especially earlier players, such as myself, like, I like to deal a lot of damage, get in there quick, kill things, and, you know, make them faint quick.
Oh, yeah, get in, get out.
Yeah. But, you know, oh, look at those. Those energies are beautiful.
Using that GX attack, loading that up. Now he's got that Solgaleo set up, which, I don't know, personally, I wouldn't want that out. Get really nice, knock that out, set up, boom. But we will see. Let's see, he's got 80 on that. If he can get another Pokemon on the bench, could easily Guzma up that. Or maybe he's saving that Guzma for the Golisopod GX. Bring it up for a nice 120 hit on anything. Alright, let's see what he's going to do. He's going to discard a card, draw the 2 with the Zoroark. He's going to play that down. Tapu Koko, nice for the free retreat. And just bench space.
That bench is looking really pretty over there on Jonathan's side.
Oh yes, very shiny. Very, very well set up with that Drampa back there, ready to go.
I know, about to burn some bullies' houses down.
And Brian's about to show up with the bully. What's he gonna go with? He's gonna go with the. Go with that one. That's what I thought. He's gonna return that one back. He's got the double colorless for that. He's gonna use that. Likely. Alright, play that down. Now he's got a full bench ready to knock that out.
Popping it
Boom.
off.
Get the 2 prize cards.
2 prize cards. Oh, because he killed a GX? Or
Yes.
oh, look at that.
There you go.
Retaining rules. How fun is that? So, knocked down to 4 prize cards. Brian is in the lead right now.
Alright, but that Solgaleo's looking pretty daunting. Can easily, with the Sunstrike, get rid of that, but he has another one ready to go in the wings
With the Jujus.
with all the Jujus. Now, when he uses that Sunstrike Blast, is that it? Is that correct? Sunsteel Strike, my apologies. He's going to use that. It's going to discard all the steel energy attached to him.
Okay.
So while it can do the easy 230 and knock out that Zoroark, it leaves him in a very, what's the word, very vulnerable position. So there he goes, knocks that out, takes his 2 prize cards, and brings up a Tapu Koko so he can get that free retreat once he decides how he wants to proceed. Like he's gonna Ultra Ball away those field blowers. It look like there's a lot of tools out and ready. He's gonna get that. Tapu. Oh, now he has a Tapu Lele. Interesting. He gets the N. All right. Now I wonder if he would have needed the. Well, I guess the other Tapu Lele would be in place of the Tapu Koko on the bench, so he wouldn't have filled that out. I don't know how that would have affected how this game's going right now. If he would have loaded up that extra Tapu Koko, or if he would have held it off so he could play a Tapu Lele later in the game and search for that in. It's interesting. This is the problem with forgetting to play cards.
Exactly.
Changes the whole
Entire
dynamic.
outcome, yeah.
You know, sometimes it slips past the best of us. Sometimes people are malicious and do it. I don't think that's the case here. I think it's just like a easy little mix-up.
Yeah, it seems like a simple mistake.
Yeah, it happens to everyone.
And if it wins you the game, I guess simple mistake done good.
All right, now he's gonna do the 120 to that Solgaleo, and he's ready to go. Hopefully, he doesn't have. He's hoping. All right, because that in knocked him down, gave Brian a better hand. It looks like Jonathan's got a little more to work with. He's got that Cosmog. He can set up another Solgaleo ready to go. Now for the energies. He's thinking. And this is my concern with a steel deck without Metagross in it, is how they actually consistently set up with the 3 energy required to attack with Solgaleo, or if they just start off with Solgaleo early on, set up one in the wings, and then Drampa comes up, takes over. I'm just not too familiar with this deck. I mean, we definitely saw it hit pretty hard last round.
Yeah.
Could definitely get the job done. He was able to attach where he needed to go. I'm just not too familiar with it.
He has moved the Jujus.
I really don't understand what he's doing with those. I bet they're down there right now having a conversation about, I bet they don't know what we're doing with these Jujus up in the booth. Well, to you, sir, you are correct. I have no idea what he's doing.
Organizing Jujus. It seems like a nice strategy. Keep the opponent's mind off of the cards.
Yes, the green Jujus are definitely overpowered in this current meta. I hope to see a rise of the red. You don't see a lot of that nowadays. You see it occasionally, like on the left-hand side.
But surprisingly, coming out of nowhere is the darker Jujus.
Oh yes, there's a large presence in this current matchup. It's done quite well. All right, he's got a band and a grass energy on that Golisopod. Oh, and his Zoroarks are all knocked out, so he's got to work on that first impression attack. And Jonathan is down to 2 with that knockout previously, and maybe that is the whole strategy. Get up Solgaleo, get that early knockout, have the damage counters on it, retreat it back, hit up with the Drampa. It does seem to be the play he's going with. They're gonna use that and in.
Fast shuffling skills, may I say.
Oh, yes.
The pros, it's really interesting to see the pros just handle cards in general.
Especially without doing the bridge shuffling.
Yes.
Some pros bridge shuffle, and they have these fully maxed out, full rarity cards. And I'm like, how can you
knowingly do that to your cards?
How expensive some cards can be. It's... What are we looking at? Haha. Yes, whoops. I always forget to switch that back over. Our in-house. Sometimes I have our in-house timer, but sometimes I forget to put in our one up on the screen, though it doesn't always want to cooperate with me. There we go.
Yeah.
That's why we keep you around.
Yeah, yep, I am the time checker.
Master of time. All right, Brian's seeing what he can do to overcome this. Jonathan's in a pretty advantageous position right now.
Those Jujus are coming in strong.
Will they be enough?
What is the GX token he has there?
That GX token, it signifies whether or not you've used your GX attack for the game or not.
You only get one GX attack in the game?
The whole game, yes.
Oh, okay.
So he used that Soulburst GX that allow those 5 energies from the discard pile, or from the deck, to be placed anywhere that he chose. And that was his early GX attack, which seems to be load up the Solgaleo and load up the Drampa on the back burner, ready to roll. And so he used that pretty early, but Brian has yet to use that GX attack. Which, the one for the Zoroark is probably the main one. You can use any attack. If you use 2 Darkness Energies, you can use any of your opponent's attacks as that attack. Or Golisopod doesn't see as much play, but it gets 150 on the Golisopod GX. Does 150, and you switch it back to one of your benched Pokemon. Doesn't see as much play, but it's a nice little clutch play if you need that quick 150. And there is the Max Potion. Is he going to use it? On who shall he use this?
He could either hit the Drampa or
the Solgaleo on the bench.
Solgaleo, yeah. Which one would be the more viable option?
Now, I'm not sure because he doesn't have any special energy, so it wouldn't behoove him too much to do the 20 with the Righteous Edge. But he needs that kind of to survive. But, okay, that would be the play. Have that survive. It lowers the Berserk attack of Drampa, however, because now he doesn't have any benched Pokemon with damage counters, so now that Berserk attack is only doing 80.
Jonathan's looking at Brian's discard pile.
And seeing what resources he has used up, how many he has left. I don't know why Brian's setting 180 over there. I think he thinks that he's still going to be doing 150. Oh, okay, he figured out the issue. There we go. Yeah, with that, he doesn't have any. Let's see if that comes back to bite him in the butt. Getting that damage on that Golisopod might have been the way to go. He's putting up Tapu Lele, trying to save the Drampa. And does he have Guzmas? Maybe that's what he's looking for, seeing if he has that ready to go. And evolves to Golisopod GX. He's got an in hand. Get in Jonathan down to 2. It looks like he only has 1 card in hand.
What did he just play right there?
That's the in. Shuffle your hand, draw the prize cards. So,
that's nice.
or draw the number of prize cards.
Get to pick up 4 cards right here.
Yeah, Brian renews his hand to 4. Reduces. Well, Jonathan did only have a hand of 1, so he's actually gaining a card, but still a hand of 2 isn't the ideal situation. But it could be something. That's what it comes down to. Sometimes you just have to make those plays. Because clearly Jonathan was in a not too advantageous of a position at that moment, but he had to get the cards he needed to get. He's going to Field Blower off. If he can get at that band.
So now he can't easily switch in as much as he'd like.
Oh, no. You're thinking of Float Stone. That one does 30 extra damage to GXs and EXs.
Okay.
Which is really nice, and would have done about 180 had that Berserk been fully loaded with the damage counters on the back burner, which looks like it was the plan, to get some damage on that Tapu Lele so that he can bring up Drampa and hit for that 150, 180. And if he did have that band, he could easily knock out that Golisopod with the 30 he already has on. Does a smooth 210. All right, let's see what he's got. Brian's going to look through his deck, see if he's got... Looks like he's got a lot of those double colorless used and in play already. And I'm pretty sure Brian warns those hammers. All right, he's going to Sycamore away his hand, draw some cards, see what he's got to work with. It looked like a Guzma. I can't see in hand. He's going to check the top. Yeah, there's definitely a Guzma in there. He's got to figure out how he wants to play that. Now, all right, so he's got the Golisopod loaded up on the bench with an energy. So if he does Guzma, he can switch that up. Or if somehow Jonathan gets the knockout on this Golisopod, he knocks that out. He can easily put up the Tapu Koko, retreat, and hit hard with a return. But actually, if he gets the knockout on the Golisopod, that's the game. He only has 2 prize cards left, so now I'm just rambling at this point. However, so all Jonathan needs to do, let's see, he did the 30 damage onto that Golisopod. So right now it's sitting at 150 HP left, which Brian's got to take care of this now or never. Is that he's got that Drampa on the back burner, ready to pop up with 150 damage. So he's got to try and Guzma hit that. Oh, maybe he doesn't have it. Looks like they're discussing. Oh, yep. I guess he didn't have it. And that's the game.
With Jonathan for the win.
With Jonathan pulling out the win. Second win over Zoroark Golisopod.
And now, probably the top of the competition right now is that Solgaleo deck.
Yeah, 3-0. There might be...
Maybe
I'm not quite
more
sure
out
how
there.
many teams or how many players we have tonight. No, it's quite a few actually.
Yeah, good show up tonight.
Good show, especially on the holiday weekend. It's a
Yes,
good turnout.
exactly.
I was pleasantly surprised.
It is Black Friday.
It was...
Some good deals over here at Four Horsemen Comics. Don't forget to stop by.
Oh, yeah. If you're at home, you're still in town, you can make it up to the mall. I think the mall's on holiday hours now.
Yeah, 1
think they're
o'clock in
open
the morning.
What?
I'm pretty
1
sure.
o'clock in the morning? I don't think that's right.
The mall near where I live.
Oh, okay.
They were open till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Gotcha. Well, I think it's 10 o'clock here, so you still have about an hour and a half to get up here and get some of these good deals.
Yeah, some great deals.
But we're going to bring this back up to the booth. But yeah, so that was another
Yes.
great matchup. That was
Great match,
That was
great
pretty
match,
close.
yes.
Brent had a pretty good position against Jonathan, but Jonathan was just able to pull that out. That Drampa is very clutch, sitting there on the back burner. I think that was
Yeah, that was definitely
that was
his
the
key.
big issue in the
Yeah.
back. And I guess Brian just couldn't pull up that Guzma. So I guess it doesn't really matter about that Tapu.
That Tapu Lele was not
One,
an
despite
issue
that
here.
whole Tapu Lele incident. Although, who knows? Maybe that would have forced him to play some different things.
different area in the deck, taking that extra card out. Maybe he could have drawn something. So many things could happen.
You never know.
Butterfly effects.
Butterfly effect. Exactly. All right, so that's the end of round 3. We're going to be back up here. We have 2 more rounds tonight.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break and see you back then.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
Hey, Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun. Hey, Donnie, come play some X-Wing, man. Aw, you're no fun. Hey, Donnie, come learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Ah. Hey, Donnie, come play. Aw, you're no fun. I'm going to use the restroom. Hey, Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
Hey!
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're ready to start round 4. This was a much quicker turnaround than some of the other ones.
Yes.
Everybody was raring to go. So we've got Jonathan Morehouse back again for a 3rd round in a row at the top table. He's doing really well today. Going against another 3-0 team, Eli Phillips. Now this one is going to be a much more difficult matchup. Eli is playing Gardevoir, which was huge several months ago. Huge, dominated the meta. But he's playing against Fairy's weakness, which is Steel type. So he's got that Solgaleo. He's got definite type advantage there. Gardevoir is still a huge threat, but we'll see how it
It'll be
goes.
an interesting matchup.
They're both very good players, so it'll be an interesting matchup to see. But there's definitely
I'm starting to like that Steel deck.
it is
With
it's
not
quite
knowing
fun.
many decks, it seems like a very interesting deck.
I mean, you have seen it a lot today, so
yeah, exactly. It's been
it's
quite
been right
the-
here in front of us all day.
It's been the dominant deck today.
All
so
right, we're
far.
gonna look down there, see if they're ready for us. They should be ready any minute. All right,
They are ready.
They are ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this timer ready to go. If you want to go ahead and give them the signal, and they are ready to go, and my timer is going. I said my timer is good. There we go.
It's really fun when your signals will stomp on the ground.
I don't think too many people know that, but we are actually above the action right now. We are actually looking down up on them.
This is interesting to be so close to where the
Close to the
battle is
action.
going. Close to the battle.
All right,
It's
so
like if you were in the Poke Arena back in the TV show.
oh yeah, you get to like watch all the matches down below you.
Yeah, see Pokemon doing crazy things like shock each other from miles away.
All right, so he's looking through his deck. What's he gonna grab off of this? Doing the smart thing, checking what all resources he has in his deck, just so he knows what's prized, so he knows what to expect, what he has available to him. He's gonna go ahead and grab that Gardevoir. He's probably got all the setup cards he needs in his hand for the follow-up turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, you can't evolve on the first turn unless you have some special shenanigan cards.
Which I believe you do, Josh, in your deck.
I do have some special shenanigan cards. I love myself some Wally. Alright, and he's going to pass that over to Jonathan. Now, if Eli can get set up quickly enough, yeah, that's how grammar works, he can try and stall this Solgaleo from getting set up.
You pop an Ultra Ball.
Pop an Ultra Ball. He's likely going to go for maybe a Tapu Lele, get some setup going with a Bridget.
With a Bridget searching.
That would be...
Tutor.
And hopefully we made sure to poke fun at them after this last round.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both just didn't even notice it. I mean, Jonathan ended up on top in the long run, so it didn't really matter. They both just didn't realize it happened.
Mm-hmm.
We can also confirm that the Jujus were just to mess with us. So
They were. They had nothing. He was just switching them from side to side. Literally
just trying to see
mess with us.
what the heck we would do.
And we did a lot. We talked a lot about Jujus.
Oh, indeed we did. So, all right, there's that and the Bridget, as we expected.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget has become when it first came out, it was less than $1 card. Like, nobody used it. And it's become so prevalent with the advent of Tapu Lele, things like that. It's just become a staple card.
How much does that gain around now?
I'm not actually quite sure. It might only be like just the normal Bridgets. I don't know. I want to say at one time, like not too long ago, they were about $5 a piece just for the regular ones. But they're definitely a major staple of any deck that needs a lot of setup prior, like all these ones that use basics and jump up to stage 2s, like Gardevoir and Solgaleo with those Cosmogs. Definitely needed in those setups.
Yes.
All right, he's got that Drampa, got 2 Cosmogs. He is
Drampa,
sitting
Drampa.
very, very pretty with those Cosmogs on the bench. Much better setup than his last round.
Yes, like I really am enjoying that the Drampa.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like an interesting card.
Yeah, at first I wasn't, like, I thought it was okay. Wasn't too hyped on it. Some people were crazy about it. I honestly wasn't quite sure what that Berserk attack did. I thought it was on the opponent's. It's the damage counters on your own bench, so that's actually pretty nice if you have, like, rainbows laid down a rainbow energy, it does 10 damage when you attach it. So you just do that to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That could be a really spicy, juicy thing you got going on there.
Yeah, nice little combo.
But I think there was a janky deck going around. It had about 4 Drampas, and you just loaded them up. 4 Drampas. That was loaded it up. Maybe had some rainbows. Just loaded it up. Got those damage counters on there and just hit as hard as you could. Looks like he did get that Gardevoir up. Jonathan is in a good position with those, but if Eli can get a little more set up on that bench, it's going to be a scary matchup.
Seems like he has something to lay down next turn, though.
Yeah, he's definitely mulling over what he wants to do. Looks like he's got a Gallade in his hand, which is the other evolution for Kirlia, which is a fun time for him. And just as a reminder, Gardevoir GX, the thing that makes it so great is that Secret Spring ability, which once per turn, before you attack, you can attach a Fairy Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and that can be any Pokemon. And then it's Infinite Force attack, which is crazy. For 1 Fairy Energy, it does 30 times the number of energy attached to both active Pokemon. So there used to be an attack called X-Ball on Mewtwo, and it was double colorless, and it just did 20 times the number of energy attached to both Pokemon. Then there was Evil Ball, kind of similar with the Evital EX. Now this one is 30 times, and it's only for 1 energy. It's ridiculous. Japan loves Gardevoir for some reason. They always seem to give it these crazy things going on. And it was very dominant here. So he's got that ready to go. He's got the rare candy, and looks like Little Solgaleo. Okay. Now, that one's a little different. Doesn't have the GX attack. But that one's got Shining Arrow, and it can do 50 damage to your opponent's Pokemon, to any of them. But if it hits the bench, it can't do weakness or resistance or anything. Then it also has Fangs of the Sun for 170, which can't use a second time, is the only drawback to that.
Yeah.
So with that, it can do Shining Arrow, snipe things on the bench for 50 or less. Does a really nice thing. Or it could hit that Gardevoir for a cheap 100 with the 2 energy. Because Fairy is weak to Steel, does the double the damage. Alright, so Eli's raring to go. What did he not attack with that? Or did he and just forget to draw a prize card? I kind of missed that whole exchange. Unless that's a different... No, I believe that's the correct Solgaleo. I don't think there's a different one out there. Alright, there he goes. Oh, and he hits that with that 170, knocks it out, gets his 2 prize cards off of that. Womp. Womp womp. Boom. Alright. So, like I said, Steel is crazy good in this matchup.
Yeah.
Does double damage to the Fairy types. He's got that Eevee up there. Not quite sure. His hand does not look like he can do anything. Which means that's going to wind down. Now, that Eevee only has 60 HP, so it will survive Shining Arrow attack. But he's going to place that down on that Oranguru, it looks like. Now, Oranguru, you can draw up to 3 cards once per turn, but like no more than 3 cards. So if you have 4 cards in your hand, you can't draw any cards.
Oh, okay.
So it's a nice little draw supporter. You just throw it on the back bench. Alright, so he is digging. Alright, he's gonna pull off that Ralts. Now in this position, You need to survive a few more attacks, get a Gardevoir ready to go, and return fire with that first attack. That infinite force attack is, yeah. All right, now Jonathan's thinking. He's buying time with that.
I love Eevee.
Eevee's a fun Pokemon.
Yeah. Cute, cuddly, but can mess the game up a little with its evolutions.
Oh, yeah, and like I said, this is the Eevee. You attach the energy, it can evolve automatically into the evolution of that energy. So with the Fairy, it can turn into Sylveon. It was really nice in the Umbreon, Espeon decks. Just a fun card. Very...
Yeah, Eevee's great.
All right, so they got that in. He's going to work with that. Let's see. Good idea for Jonathan would be to go ahead and prep some of the Cosmogs on the bench or the Drampa. There he goes. Because that Drampa ready to roll in the event. He can get some things out there. So he knocks that out with his Fangs of the Sun. Does 170. He's sitting in a very good position with 3 prize cards to 6. Puts a Rangaroo up. He's trying to stall some time. Get up Gardevoir so we can return fire on that Solgaleo. He's gonna in. Hopefully get what he needs. Otherwise, it's gonna be a very quick match.
Very quick match.
So, what he's wanting off of this is a Rare Candy and a Gardevoir GX.
Rare Candy, and what would the Rare Candy do for it again?
So, Rare Candy, so Ralts is the basic, but then the stage 1 is Kirlia, and stage 2 is Gardevoir. So, normally, Ralts to get to Gardevoir would have to evolve to Kirlia, and then into Gardevoir, but with Rare Candy, you can evolve straight to Gardevoir. So, you lay that down, you evolve, let's see, what does he have in his hand? He's got another Ralt, so he has a little bit extra time. The price trade will be nice, he's only trading at 1 price card a turn. He did not get what he needs. Jonathan's set up very nicely. I don't know if Eli's going to be able to come back from this with that setup.
I don't think there's much return here.
He's going to do 50 to that Ralts, which makes sense. And let's see. It looks like a... Can't really tell what that supporter is. Maybe a Sycamore? No, Bridget. So he's going to play Bridget. Get some basics. Some GXs out there. Looks like just an Eevee. He's going to check his... Maybe he didn't check that. So much I didn't see too many Gardevoirs in there. They might be prized. Which might be another...
Twice in one night, prizes are the death of the deck.
Oh, yeah. It's... That happens. And there he goes with the ability. He's going to attach that. Let's see. Can we spot a Gardevoir GX in there? Anything pink? Maybe 1? There might be 1 in there.
Ooh, that's a tough grab.
Yeah, if he can pull an Ultra Ball maybe. But this is just kind of winding down.
To be a very quick match.
Now he's got Sylveon GX set up in the back, which is, it's a fun card. Can do Magical Ribbon, which is really nice for setup. For 1 Fairy Energy, you can search your deck for up to 3 cards and just put them into your hand. Any 3 cards you want.
Wow.
So it's a
nice.
very good. But you have to waste an attack. Well, not, I guess, waste in that scenario. But you have to use up your attack for the turn to use it. Which is the main selling point of Sylveon GX and why Eevee's running this deck. The other one has Fairy Wind. I think it does 110. And then it has a GX attack that you can actually take 2 of your... Which is a nice one if you could get it set up. It's called Plea GX.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
And it has... You can put 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon and all the cards attached to it into your opponent's hand. So he could send those... That Solgaleo and that... Cosmoem, or the Drampa, whatever he chooses, Actually, the Cosmoem and the Solgaleo would probably be the best bet. Slow down that evolution. If he can knock out that Solgaleo, that'll be the main issue. But putting that up is going to be a problem with that Solgaleo still out, because he can easily knock it out with one hit. And with 2 prize cards remaining, that's not something he wants to do. So he ends again, ends him down to 2. He's got to believe in the heart of the cards. Get those cards he needs. He needs to get a Gardevoir up there so he can return fire, hit that Solgaleo, knock it out so that he can maybe go in with that Plea GX or just have a prayer in this match. So if he can get up with Infinite Force, he's already got 3 energies on it. That's a cool 90. If he can get, I think it has 160. Also, we need 3 on the Gardevoir for it to work. So if he can get that up and get a Secret Spring off, it might work out in his favor. But it's going to be a hard press.
I know, it seems very unlikely.
So it looks like he's going for the Plea, maybe. Maybe he could Guzma, get rid of that. That would be an interesting play. If he has a Guzma somewhere in his hand, he could Guzma, play Plea GX, get rid of both Solgaleos, set him up, stall for some time to come back from this deficit. But then there's another Solgaleo, which that's going to cause some problems for him. That's likely be close to the end of the game. I'd give it 2 turns, 2 exchanges.
Yeah. That seems like an
yeah. Yeah, Jonathan can get the knockout this turn, most likely, if he's got the cooldown. Otherwise, it's just not looking too hot.
Is that a Gardevoir in his hand?
It may be, but he's got that Drampa. He doesn't have any damage counters, and it looks like he only has 1 double colorless on there, so he could use Righteous Edge for 20. Maybe he's just putting it up just to take the hit, because assuming that he's probably making the assumption that he does have the Gardevoir, which is a smart assumption, and that he could come down and attack that Solgaleo. Although, I don't know if I'd agree with that. Oh, I see what he was doing. He's using Big Wheel GX, where you shuffle your hand into your deck and then you draw 10 cards. So he just went from being in down to 2 to getting a huge hand of 10. So Jonathan's setting him up for a nice any scenario. So let's see, he's got the rare candy, and all right, let's see what he does, because he could I do like the idea of Plea GX bringing him up and sending those 2 loaded Solgaleos back to the hand.
That seems like that's what would save him.
That would work very nice, but oh, is that what he's doing?
Yes,
yeah,
he is. There it is. This is going to be an interesting.
Now, wait a minute. I think he just used Secret Spring on the Gardevoir and then attached to Retreat. So if they've been keeping track, he might have just messed up. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's seeing if there's even a comeback possible. Like if he attaches this energy. Yeah. Oh no, he brought it up to get the cards he needed. Okay. I see it. Yeah. Yep, there's the game. Oh yeah. Those are all those Tapu Leles. 2 Tapu Leles prized. Makes it very difficult to get a supporter. And that was a difficult matchup. But I think he did well, given that he overwhelming weakness with that.
He was trying to come back very strong, and it looked for a while as if something could have happened.
Yeah, it's you know, sometimes you can. The thing I like about the TCG is that even if there's a one-sided weakness like that, there's still the possibility to come back and win if you have like enough skill, luck, and everything.
And
Like it's
draw
still
the
possible to
card.
win. Yeah. It's one of the big pushes that made me switch from the VGC to the TCG. Just being able to, if you're able to play the right cards and work out a win, like it's still possible to win.
Yes.
And Eli definitely did have the possibility
Yeah.
to win with that. Just didn't work out. The prizes weren't there.
Yeah.
It was just a very tough matchup for him.
In me being a new player to Pokemon, like it just seems like a very strong falter to like sometimes get those prize cards of like the main cards of your deck, like just going right in there and not being able to be used for the entire game.
Yeah, they are making newer cards now. I think like Gladion, and then they have some other things that let you switch out the prize cards, like look at them and switch them out,
Wow.
which is a nice new little mechanic they've
That
got
would be
going on.
fun. That's
And
what
they
I would
also
put
have
mine to.
there's an old card town map. You can flip over all your prize cards so you can see what they are,
Wow.
which is also a really nice card.
But it is a
It
nice card.
doesn't see a lot of play, but in
Because
some
you look
jankier
at 'em,
decks
you
or
don't
things that
get to do
require
anything
it.
with them.
Yeah, but you can see what's in there.
Yeah.
But most people, they just look through their deck and they know what's in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know your deck well enough, you know what's in the prize.
Exactly. All right. Well, Jonathan is on a roll. We'll probably see
Yes.
him in our fifth and final round coming up
Yes.
here shortly.
There's no
So-
doubt about it.
Yeah, 4-0. I think he's gonna be
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna see him again.
Gonna see a lot of Jonathan tonight. All right, we're gonna take another quick break and we'll be back with our fifth and final round. Stay tuned, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun. Hey, Donnie, come play some X-Wing, man. Aw, you're no fun. Hey, Donnie, come learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Ah. Hey, Donnie, come play. Aw, you're no fun. I'm going to use the restroom. Hey, Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
I can't hit anything!
Can't hit anything! Yes, 3 hits! I can't hit anything.
Welcome back. We're here for round 5, the 5th and final round of our tournament tonight. We've got, once again, Jonathan Morehouse tearing up the competition, 4-0 tonight.
That steel deck, man, just ruthless.
However, he's playing against a very tough matchup for him. He's going to be playing against Seth Butcher with a Greninja deck, which...
Don't know what that is.
Well, you're about to have a fun time. Greninja was huge couple before the last rotation, it was huge. Still see some play here and there. It's not as consistent as it used to be, but it still sees some play. It's a very strong deck. They also love Greninja over there. It's a fun time. So we're gonna look over there at them, see if they are ready to go here in just 1 second. If we get ready for this, all right, we're gonna look over there. What do they got for us?
Are they ready? The world will never know.
All right, they are cutting the decks.
Oh my God, why would you cut such nice decks?
They are raring to get ready tonight. We are in our 5th and final round of the evening. Seth is going 3-1, while Jonathan is 4-0. And they are ready to roll. I'm going to go ahead and give them a signal.
Prize cards have set. And here they go.
All right. So starting off with an Espeon over there. And so this is one of those EXs where EXs are always basic. This was back in the day. I think it's still in the rotation. I think that was Fates Collide, maybe? Or it might be Breakpoint. Yeah, Breakpoint. Espeon EX. So it's got an attack, Miraculous Shine. It devolves each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon, puts the highest stage evolution into your opponent's hand. So that's one of the big things with this deck. It devolves. So you go from that 250, like 160 HP Pokemon down to about 80. Or 60 if you use a rare candy to get there. So it's an easy knockout. You asked earlier about if there's a way to knock out all your opponent's Pokemon. So if they're all evolved and they all got at least 60 HP on them worth of damage, Espeon uses Miraculous Shine. They all go down to Cosmogs. Knockout, knockout, knockout. It'll be interesting time with all these evolution cards. Espeon is a huge threat to this deck.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting play. I would love to see that happen.
And especially with Greninja being able to drop 60 damage with its ability and attack, it's going to be a very intense matchup.
Steel deck's going to have a tough matchup today.
Oh, yes. And so we will be expecting Greninja here in a little bit, probably some water duplicates off of a Frogadier. But Greninja, when he gets it out, it'll have the Water Shuriken ability. How it works, once during your turn, you may discard a water energy from your hand, and if you do, you can put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. But, actually, no. My apologies, that's the really old one. That's not how that works anymore. Wow. Okay, no. It's probably going to be using the Breakpoint one, which gives you Shadow Stitching, gets rid of abilities, does 40, but it could also use Moonlight Slash, where you can return an energy card to your hand, and you can do 60 damage plus 20. Where you evolve it into the Break, which Break was an interesting concept. It was kind of the precursor to like GXs giving Stage 2s a little bit, kind of like these evolution cards, a little bit more oomph compared to the EXs that were so prevalent in the meta. So you set it on top of that, so it keeps all of the attacks and everything, but over top it has its extra attack, or it's an ability, and some improved HP. So Greninja Break, its ability is Giant Water Shuriken. So instead of Water Shuriken, it's the Giant Water Shuriken. And how it works, Once during your turn, you can, if it's your active Pokemon, you can discard a water energy from your hand, and if you do, you put 6 damage counters on it. That's the one I was thinking of, which drops 60 damage on any Pokemon. You devolve it with that down to Cosmog. That's an easy knockout. Then again, it doesn't give you like the 2-card prize support with, the 2 prize card trade from Solgaleo. But if you're knocking out all these Cosmogs, he's not going to be able to get those prize cards returned on you.
Okay.
So, all right, looking down back to the game. So he's going to retreat, put up Froakie. He's going to put up Frogadier. He's going to evolve that. He's going to look through here. All right, checking that out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Starmie.
Ooh, that'd be nice to see. Haven't seen that today.
Yeah, Starmie's nice. You can return 2 discarded water energies to your hand, which is really nice for that flip around.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the Staryu. It only has 40 HP, but it has free retreat, so it's really nice as an early back and forth. He's going to do that. Looks like he played Bridget. He's going to get set up back there. Probably going to get all of his Cosmogs ready to roll. Yep, there's 1. 2. And he's going to go with Drampa as the 3rd. Now, Drampa's going to be probably key for Jonathan in this matchup with all the Water Shurikens and damage going around everywhere on the back. Having those damage counters in the back is going to help him answer the strong 170 he's got with the break. Now, so a break separate from both an EX and a GX, so unfortunately those bans won't help him much, but I think that's the choice band. Yeah, it's the actual word. But I know he runs. Yeah, he has the choice band on the Drampa, so he's got it for the Espeon EX. So if that pops up, he can return fire with that, assuming any of the Cosmogs survive with damage counters on them. So he pulls up. He got that knockout on that first Froakie, which is good. So the idea for setup with the Greninja deck is that you want to evolve the first Froakie into Frogadier. And then Frogadier has an attack called Water Duplicates, and you lay down, I think, 2 other Frogadiers on the bench. And so you don't have to evolve them from Froakies. So then the next turn, you can just lay down a whole bunch of Greninjas, and you have a full setup. That's the ideal setup. But where he's knocking out those Froakies, it's hard to get set up with that Frogadier. And if you can keep him in this scenario, Jonathan will be sitting quite well.
Overcoming the tough matchup.
Let's see what he chooses to do with that. And then you see this stadium card down there. It's Brooklet Hill. And once during each player's turn, they can search their deck for a basic water or fighting Pokemon and put it onto their bench and shuffle their deck. That's what he was doing earlier when he was just searching the deck for a Staryu.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't just like, oh, I feel like
I'm gonna start
look
looking
at
at my deck now.
you know, I could use a Pokemon right now. Let's see if I can pull one out.
Pokemon right now.
All right, so I guess end. He's gonna shuffle those up, see what he can get off of that. Hopefully,
See what he can get.
hopefully he can get a Frogadier off of that. All right, cutting the deck. Let's see. Trainer. Ultra Ball. Oh, Full Art Guzma. Sitting quite good
That's
with
really
that.
pretty.
Got a rainbow something in there. Looks like another Froakie. Ultra Ball. Get rid of that Froakie. And what's he gonna get rid of? He's gonna get rid of that Rainbow. You know, I can't actually tell what that is.
Very,
It's really hard to see from this angle.
Yeah, it's a very bright light on it.
All right.
Shiny
Oh, he's going to go for the
cards and bright light.
Starmie. Interesting. Oh, I guess he doesn't have the energy to do the water duplicates, so having that set up is good. Get that energy. It's not the ideal situation, but all right. Now Jonathan's got to get some Solgaleo set up on the bench, ready to roll. Alright, he's going to go for the Tapu Lele. He's going to probably go for... What's he going to get off of that? Maybe a Guzma. Alright, I could see that. Probably bring up that Froakie. Get rid of that. That's the biggest threat right now. Because he does have a Frogadier in hand, but he didn't have the energy to play it.
Okay.
So that was the
So you couldn't make the duplicate.
big thing, yeah. He's going to look through his discard pile. He has already lost 2 Froakies. This one will be the 3rd. And if he can't get a Frogadier set up with those water duplicates, it's going to be a very hard uphill battle for Seth. So the smart thing, I think, in my opinion, be to Guzma up that Froakie. There he goes. Bring up. He's going to do that retreat. He's going to knock that out. All right, so he's got down to 4 prize cards and 3 Froakies in the discard pile. Now, I want to think that he does run... All right, he's going to Sycamore, get a new hand. Maybe some sort of Rescue Stretcher or Super Rod, maybe. But he needs to have a Froakie. Otherwise, he's just kind of...
There's that break card. I can see it.
Oh, he's got lots of golden trainers in there. He's got a very decked out deck.
That is the break card, right?
What's that? Oh, he's got some gold item full art trainer cards in there.
Wow.
They're the expensive versions of basic item staples.
Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon introduced some. They had, since I believe Black and White, one of the sets in there, maybe Noble Victories, starting with N, they had full art trainers. And now they've introduced golden full art items. They used to have golden items, which are quite pricey if they're big staples like Ultra Ball, but now they have full art variants, which are quite expensive along with their golden energies. They're just kind of giving you every possible excuse to make your whole deck golden.
Sounds nice.
It would be nice if they weren't so expensive,
Yeah.
but, you know.
I know people.
That's
like
how it
that.
works.
They get the nice deck, and then they're like, oh, I want to foil out that deck. Make everything shiny.
Make it nice and shiny, get reverse hollow everything. I mean, there's no problem with that. I'm personally like on a budget man. I like to go, as long as I get to play the game, I enjoy it. Although I will say I'm a collector of the full art trainers myself. I don't play with a full playset, but I like collecting all the full art trainers. That they had an Best of XY collection. They had a lot of new full art trainers in that set. There were a whole lot in that, so I was, I think, $100 for the box, which I believe they still sell here at the Four Horsemen. If you'd like to pick up one of those Best of XY sets, they are quite nice. I believe they're still sold here. Don't hold me to that, but that's where I bought mine, and I am very happy with it, and my full art's added to my collection. All right, let's see. Seth is in quite a pickle.
Yes, he is.
I don't know if he actually has a prayer. His other Froakie, I do not see. He looked through there. I don't know if it's possible. His other Froakie might be prized. Unless he saw it and I did not. She would know. So. Alright, he's going to discard that. And get rid of that Field Blower. Is going to get Ah, Tapu Lele. That's a very beautiful Tapu Lele, rainbow rarity. They were all so expensive at one point. The rainbow wasn't even that much more expensive than the regular art. I think only like $15 more expensive. All right, so he ends. He's gonna try and get what he needs off of this. Needs to get those Froakies out of the discard pile if he has a prayer in this matchup. All right, Jonathan will go down to 4. So that's gonna see if he can pull off something off of those. Don't forget to cut, and there they go. All right, can he get what he needs? I see a break. I see a... not quite sure. That looks like a rescue stretcher.
What is a rescue?
So a rescue stretcher, it has 2 options. You can either take a Pokemon from the discard pile and put it back into your hand, or take 3 Pokemon and shuffle them into your deck from your discard pile.
Okay.
So it just kind of fits your needs. They can add a little more bulk to your deck if you're running low on cards. You can just put them back in the deck for future use. Or if you really need a Pokemon that's in the discard pile, it's a really nice save. It brings it back into your hand. It's been very nice in many situations. So he's contemplating what he's going to do here. Looks like Jonathan's checking out his deck. He's going to get that Solgaleo. He's going to be set up quite nice, ready to hit with that 170 here shortly. And without any Frogadiers or Greninjas on the bench, and Jonathan about set up, we might see into this. Jonathan might end up going 5-0.
That'd be a nice night.
Nice night for him. All right, he's going to draw those. He's going to attach that. There he goes.
Oh, what a ruthless deck right now.
It's done quite well tonight.
Yeah,
He hasn't had anything majorly prized, which helps, but he's been playing it very well. He's a very skilled player, working with a very strong deck. It's worked out very well for him tonight. That's not to say that the other players haven't been skilled. They've all been very good, great players. Some of them have been lucky, some of them not so lucky.
Yeah.
Jonathan's got that groove on tonight. You know, when you're playing a game and you get into that groove and you're just got that.
Yeah, you're just ruining those other decks. Especially with the last 2 matchups. The one before this, there was nothing the other opponent could have done.
Yeah,
it seems like we're heading into another one where it's just there's not much. Like Jonathan just has all the answers to Seth's cards right now.
All right, so he's gonna put those back in. It looks like he's got. Is he grabbing that and that? He's got that Froakie. All right. Gonna shuffle those in. Have a good old time. We got a Froakie back in play. Hopefully gonna try and pull that out before it's too late. Although
it might just be
where it's headed, it might be in that area. Oh, and Jonathan took 2 more prize cards. So he's sitting at 2-6. Seth without a Greninja. It's not looking too hot. All right, and he's going to use Brooklet Hill, get that Froakie.
It just seems at this point there is no way to come back from this.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Really?
I've seen crazier things get pulled off. So maybe Jonathan has a misplay. Maybe just gets into like a bricked hand, get down to 2, can't do anything with those things. Although where he's set up, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything. But he should have the Frogadier. I believe that's what I see in his hand. Should be able to get off some water duplicates. No. I guess that wasn't a Frogadier. That's...
That should... I'd say a 2 more turn game.
Wait, that looks like Frogadier down there. And he does have an energy in hand. Oh, wait, he did just play that Froakie this turn. I thought that was the Froakie from earlier. No, he knocked that one out. So, yeah. But Solgaleo shouldn't be able to attack this turn since it just knocked out the SB on the turn before. So it's got to wind down from that 170 attack. Although it can hit for 50 somewhere, if I remember correctly. So if he can just inch his way out of here, he might be able to set up some Frogadiers. But then at that point, he's going to return, knock out that Frogadier, is going to be playing with a 1-card prize trade, and very unlikely that he's going to be able to come back, just given the current board state.
Very vicious matchup right now.
It is not how I expected the matchup to go.
Yeah, no, I expected it to be a lot tougher for Jonathan Morehouse.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's just taking this tournament by storm.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, 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 very prevalent.
Yeah, usually in a matchup like this, this is kind of the scenario with Greninja and why it doesn't see too much play nowadays, is that it's less consistent without things such as, I believe, Dive Ball got rotated, just some things like that make it a whole lot easier for them to get set up.
Those rotations can take away just 1 or 2 cards out of a main deck, which really devastate the deck most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Huge decks taken out. VS Seeker was a huge card. Everyone had to learn to adapt to not just blowing through their supporters. You could take the VS Seeker, get a supporter out of the discard, put it in your hand. There was a huge play. Everybody ran about 3 or 4 of them. It was just how it worked. And then when that rotated, everybody had to adjust. Tapu Lele let you search your deck for a supporter. Made it a whole lot easier to have supporter access rather than discarding and VS Seekering later. And you just got to adapt to that. And Greninja's still trying to find that kind of balance in the new meta.
Yeah. And that kind of networks through all of the strategy card games.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, Magic the Gathering is honestly the same way. People, those rotations hit, and all decks across the board just change.
Yeah. Adapt, improvise, overcome. That's what you got to do. All right, so looking back at this,
Adapt.
I'm trying to figure out what to do here. He does have the Frogadier on the bench. He just has to get it up to attack with those water duplicates or just set up a Greninja. He's got to do something.
Seth is
struggling at this point. He's got the Drampa up. So luckily there's not a whole lot on the bench with there's nothing on the bench with damage counter, so he's doing all right currently, but as soon as that hits, that Berserk's gonna be, well, Berserk. Now, Brigadier just needs that 1 energy attached to it. You can use water duplicates. I was mistaken earlier. It's actually 3 Frogadier, so you can get, for just evolving that 1 Frogadier, you can get the rest of the playset out on the bench. However,
even from the discard pile?
No, it's you search your deck for up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to choose. Like if you only want to put out 1, that's your prerogative. But most of the time, people load that up, get as many Greninjas as they can set up, ready to go. Although, might be difficult.
That board status over there on Jonathan's is just scary.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's got the Solgaleo on the bottom there, ready to roll. He's got Solgaleo GX set up with an energy attached to it. He's going to use that, switch it with its ability. It's going to knock out that Starmie and bring it down to 2. And at this point, there's not really anything he can do. He could probably use the water duplicates, get the Frogadiers out there on the bench. He can't return fire with the 170 attack, but I don't know. Fangs of the Sun, that's the attack. He has 1 turn cooldown. He can draw it up. I'll evolve straight to Greninja. Alright. I guess at this point, there's not a lot of options, so that would be, I guess, the best in my opinion. See, that thing's got 160 HP. He just evolved. I don't know what he can do in this scenario. This might be the point of no return, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing at this match.
Gonna use Shadow Stitching, turn off those abilities for Jonathan. I don't know if that'll affect him too much. I don't know if he's considering swapping out.
Because
with that.
with Seth, if he would have won this would have tied up the rankings with 4-1, 4-1, and
4-1, and maybe one of the other 3-1s might have been 4-1. It would be an interesting matchup. Maybe had a triangle, because I believe one of the other 3-1s. Eli's currently sitting at 3-1. We just watched the last match.
Yes.
So if he won his round, it would be a triangle, and they would have to kind of depend on their opponents' matchups.
Yeah.
So that could have caused some scenarios. Yeah.
And then who knows?
But I don't think that's going to be the scenario. There he has the damage counters, and he's going to come up with the Berserk and knock out for the game. And that is Jonathan, undefeated for the night, 5-0. Let's see. Not going to show us his prize cards, but that was just an unfortunate match.
It really was.
But you know, Jonathan has had a night. All right, bringing it back up here. All right, that is the end of the matchups today. We saw some great matchups.
That last one, that one was quite entertaining to watch. I
Was
really
it?
enjoyed watching that one. That one was good.
Oh yeah, that one was good. Yeah, you got to see Sol Galeo just wreck tonight.
It just
There
was
through
no
just
coming.
luck and skill, and Jonathan played very well tonight.
Yeah, it seems like he had a lot of good synergy with his deck. There was always answers on the board. He never really had any problems trying to find things. Synergy was just beautiful.
And I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him here later how long he's played this deck.
Yeah,
he might have been he seemed very comfortable with the deck. He knew what he needed to do.
Yes, exactly.
He was able to get around any adversity that came his way.
It seems like there's been so much trial and error with that deck. Like he's probably been through it about 1,000 times played. You know.
I don't know about that many, but you never know.
He could.
Maybe hit up the online TCG game, build it on there, play it every night.
Yeah.
You never know. But practice makes perfect. All right, well, we're going to leave you for just one more time. We're going to come back up, see if we can get Jonathan up in here, talk to him real quick, and then sign off with you.
Winner of the day.
All right, stay tuned.
Thank you.
Hey, Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun. Hey, Donnie, come play some X-Wing, man. Aw, you're no fun. Hey, Donnie, come learn to play X-Wing with me.
No, Tyler, I'm teaching Donnie to play Pokemon now.
Ah. Hey, Donnie, come play. Oh, you're no fun. I'm going to use the restroom. Hey, Donnie! Hey, if you want to learn X-Wing, come in here Thursday nights and talk to me, Tyler, and I'll give you a free X-Wing demo.
All right, we are here joined by Jonathan Morehouse with us, the 5-0 champ of tonight's festivities.
I'm the best.
Playing his Solgaleo deck. So, obviously, you did very well tonight. How do you think you played? How the deck worked tonight?
I got lucky in most of my games. I was able to bridge it, most of them. I had one game against Brian, the Zoroark Gliscod deck. I had to tear through my deck pretty fast with Sycamores, but ended up paying off. So deck worked how it's supposed to for the most part.
Especially when you had to watch out for his shenanigans, not playing those Lele's.
That's right.
And all the Juju fruits.
All the Juju fruits,
I
yeah.
was so confused.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about how it just seems like you were so comfortable with that deck. Like how many times have you like played this deck or worked with it? Or?
I've actually played. That is my favorite deck. I try to play it in the bigger events that I've gone to. I've gone to 2. I've done terribly at them, but it's either you get the turn 1 Bridget and you do pretty good, or you miss it and you probably lose. At least that's my experience with it. But that's the first deck that I built that I
really?
played consistently. Yeah.
Well, you seemed very comfortable with
we
it,
can
and you
see
were able
that.
to like work around. It's like, oh, this didn't work. You were able to find what you needed. You were just very comfortable, and you knew exactly what your deck had and what you needed to do.
Now, like, with board presence, it seems like you were building board presence like very quickly in almost every matchup.
Yeah. That's kind of that's the idea, pretty much. Yeah, get your guys out with Bridget, and then Soul Burst turn 2 to get the energy out, and then it's pretty set from there as long as you don't get your Rayquazas knocked out and stuff. But I actually didn't have to do them till like the last game, so
yeah,
that's what that card was.
Yeah.
I thought it looked green. I was like, what is that card that's just up there all the time? I meant to ask you after each round. I just kept forgetting. I was like, we'll forget it. Maybe everybody else will just accept what that is.
that's my dude that gets my energy back. So.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, of the 5 matchups, which one was like, do you feel was your favorite matchup or like your most challenging matchup?
The one that I hate the most is Greninja.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bad matchup. I was lucky he got a really slow start, and I was able to aggressively knock out the Froakies.
Yeah.
But I like playing that Zoroark Gliscod deck. It's just a cool deck, so I played that twice, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like playing Guardy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an easy matchup for you.
So.
That's the Zoroark Golisopod. That's the one that won the European Internationals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Drake was playing the exact list that Tor used to win, and Brian was playing his own version of it. So.
Yeah, so it was interesting to see all those matchups.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, congratulations, Jonathan.
Yeah. Thanks,
Did
guys.
well tonight.
Thank you.
Any final words to the viewers?
Solgaleo rocks. Play him.
Well, there you have it from the 5-0 champ. And I hope you enjoyed watching our stream tonight.
Yes.
We try and do a stream, I think,
like
at least once a month plus during our league challenges, I think is what we're trying to get into the swing of. So
you should see us more.
Should come out. We have tournaments every Friday night for Pokemon.
Yes.
$5 entry fee. It's a fun time had by all. And then Saturday league, we have like noon to about whenever everybody gets tired of each other, usually around 5 o'clock. Go home, have a nice dinner. But on the weekends, we love hanging out. So.
And please check the other streams coming out of here. So.
Oh yeah, we have lots of streams coming from the Four Horsemen. So come out, visit us, hit up the store, hit up our get-togethers, Pokemon, Magic, everything. So hope you enjoyed the stream one more time, and hope you all have a great rest of your night.
Pokemon.
See you guys.
Hey Donnie, you should come play some X-Wing with me. Aw, come on! That's no fun.